Welcome to our channel. If you're on a journey to live a freer, more authentic life, you're in the right place. Today, we dive deep into one of the most powerful books ever written on personal transformation, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Stick around, because what you'll hear might just shift your inner world forever. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that most of the suffering in your life wasn't caused by others, but by the agreements you unknowingly made with yourself. The world didn't teach you to be free. It taught you to obey, conform, and doubt yourself. As a child, you didn't question. You accepted. You accepted judgment, labels, limitations. You made agreements, invisible pacts, with society, your family, your culture. And those agreements built the framework of your reality. But what if those agreements were lies? This is where Don Miguel Ruiz begins, with the bold idea that we live in a kind of dream. A dream of the planet, he calls it. A collective illusion where we forget who we really are. And to wake up, we must break the old agreements and replace them with four new ones. Four simple but powerful truths. Let's begin. Once upon a time, Ruiz tells us, we were children who lived fully in the present. We played, we laughed, we cried without shame. We expressed who we were. But as we grew, that freedom was slowly stripped away. We were domesticated, like animals, rewarded when we pleased others, punished when we didn't. We learned what to believe, what to fear, what to say, what not to say. We were taught that love is conditional, that perfection is necessary, that failure is fatal. And then we turned those rules inward. We became our own judge, jury, and executioner. But Ruiz says there is a way out, a way to break this cycle of self-sabotage and pain. The path begins with a single decision: to become aware, to recognize that many of our thoughts are not our own, they are borrowed, and then to consciously choose new agreements, four to be exact, that restore us to our true selves. The first agreement: be impeccable with your word. It sounds simple, but it's not just about speaking kindly or telling the truth. It's about understanding that your words have power, far greater than most people realize. Words are magic. They can inspire, build, and heal, or they can destroy, shame, and enslave. Ruiz compares the word to a spell. Every time you speak, especially to yourself, you are casting a spell on your life. Think of it. How often do we say, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed"? How often do we gossip, judge, or lie to avoid pain? Each time, we reinforce a toxic agreement. But to be impeccable means to speak with integrity, to use your word to create beauty, not destruction. Imagine if every thought you spoke became real. Would you still say it? Being impeccable is the first and most important agreement, because it lays the foundation for the rest. When your word aligns with truth and love, your life starts to follow. The second agreement: don't take anything personally. At first glance, this feels impossible. Someone insults you, betrays you, disrespects you. How could you not take it personally? But Ruiz offers a radical idea. What others say and do is never about you. It's about them, their beliefs, their pain, their story. Even praise is not really about you. It's about how others perceive you, filtered through their lens. So why attach your worth to their opinions? When you stop taking things personally, you become free. Free from the emotional roller coaster of approval and rejection. Someone laughs at your dream, not personal. Someone betrays your trust, still not personal. Because the moment you take it personally, you accept their poison and make it your own. This agreement is armor. It shields your peace. It reminds you, I am responsible for my actions, not others. The third agreement: don't make assumptions. How much pain comes from what we think others meant, said, or believed? We assume our partner is mad because they're quiet. We assume our boss didn't like our idea because they frowned. We assume our friend is ignoring us when they don't text back. And with every assumption, we create a story that often isn't true, but our mind believes it anyway and reacts. Ruiz teaches, if you don't know, ask. If you're unsure, clarify. Communicate courageously. This agreement demands vulnerability, but it also prevents unnecessary drama. Because when we stop filling the gaps with our fears, we allow the truth to speak for itself. Let others explain themselves. Let silence be silence. Let the facts be facts. Assumptions are traps, but questions are bridges. The fourth agreement: always do your best. This one ties it all together, because no matter how committed you are to the first three, you'll fall short sometimes. You'll speak harshly. You'll take things personally. You'll assume. But Ruiz says, that's okay. Just do your best, whatever your best is in this moment. Some days, your best will be amazing. Other days, your best will be survival. It changes with your mood, energy, and health. The goal isn't perfection. It's consistency. Doing your best means showing up, trying, learning. It means not using the first three agreements as reasons to judge yourself when you fall short. It means giving what you can and resting when you must. Over time, as these four agreements become habits, your inner world begins to shift. The voice of judgment gets quieter. The weight of shame grows lighter. The dream, the illusion, begins to fade. And in its place, peace, power, freedom. But this isn't a magical overnight change. Ruiz is honest. The old agreements are strong. They've been reinforced for years. Breaking them takes effort, awareness, courage. But every moment is a new opportunity to choose again, to pause before you speak, to detach before you react, to clarify before you assume, to try without punishing yourself. That's the beauty of this path. You don't need to control others. You don't need to fix the world. You only need to shift your own agreements, and everything else follows. The Four Agreements isn't just a book. It's a blueprint for personal freedom. It doesn't promise that life will be perfect, but it shows that life can be real. And in a world full of noise, that's rare. That's powerful. So now, ask yourself, what old agreements are holding you back? What if the voice that says, you're not enough, is lying? What if freedom isn't found in chasing more, but in choosing better? You are not the stories you were told. You are the stories you choose to believe. Choose wisely. And above all, stay impeccable. Stay curious. Stay brave. And always, always do your best.